Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Justin here as always. I don't know why that was so intense. I appreciate you stopping by and clicking on today's video. Let's talk movies. Today we're going to be talking about Robert Eggers' new film, The Northman. In case you didn't know, if this is your first time to the channel, I have been covering this pretty extensively so far. I did one video in particular that basically lays out everything you need to know about the history of The Northman. I go into the Icelandic sagas that the movies are based on. I go through the whole cast. I take a deep dive into Robert Eggers' writing partner, Sion, this Icelandic novelist, poet, musician. It's a crazy in-depth video. I'm going to link that down below. One of the most popular videos on my channel, actually, surprisingly. And most recently, and more pertaining to what we're talking about today, I also did a video talking about the test screenings that happened a few weeks ago, a couple months ago, whenever it was, the first time people laid their eyes on what was completed in The Northman. Principal photography, the movie got done shooting late last year in December, and there was test screenings, and now that takes us to where we're at right now, which is reshoots. The movie is currently undergoing fairly extensive reshoots from what I've read. Honestly, really common with movies with such a large budget and scope. In that video, the first video that I talked about the extensive builds of the sets and costumes, and just go watch that video and then come back here if you want to know everything about The Northman. But anyway, it's an extremely involved shoot. This is the biggest production that Robert Eggers has ever done. Essentially what it does is follow Alexander Skarsgård character in a revenge story in, I believe it's 10th century Iceland. He's a Viking. And when the first test screenings came out not too long ago, they were sort of mixed, which I think is pretty common too. Now, oftentimes when people go to these test screenings, they may not be a big fan of the type of movie that they're seeing. Robert Eggers, I think most people would agree, is an acquired taste, or his stuff isn't going to be for everybody. You can't plop anybody in front of The Witch or The Lighthouse and expect them to like it. So I don't really expect this movie to be any different, but it's supposed to be hyper violent, super crazy, really true to the era, I'm sure, as far as the dialect and everything like that. So the movie is now undergoing reshoots, like I said, which is really common. This movie, as of right now, has a tentative release date of April 8th, 2022. So whether or not that shifts or gets pushed back or moved forward, we don't really know. But reshoots are really common with movies that cost this much to make. This is the biggest production that Robert Eggers has ever done. They're spending a ton of money. I forget the budget. If I look it up, I'll put it right here. The budget is massive. This is a big production, so they want to get it right. So I'm glad they're going back and tweaking, shooting new scenes, maybe adding certain things. It could be a good thing. I don't think Robert Eggers is the type of dude to be pushed around and told what to do, so I'm sure whatever reshoots are happening will benefit the film in a positive way. I am really looking forward to this movie. This is my most anticipated movie of the last year or two. I am super excited about Robert Eggers' The Northman. I know there isn't a lot of information in here, but if you're by chance just now hearing about this movie for the first time, there you go. There's a little bit of background on the production. It's going into reshoots. I'll link my other two videos down below. Everything you need to know about Robert Eggers' The Northman, and then the test screening video I did where they actually show like 3 or 4 people's like verbatim reactions. Anyway, I'm going to stop before I get rambling too much, but that's basically the latest in Robert Eggers' The Northman. I think we're done here, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Stay weird. Remember to always be yourself. Always subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
I love movies. Gosh, I love movies. I love watching them, and I love making them.